Hi everyone and welcome along. It's the 11th of December. Let's see what's behind that door today. Oh, lovely. Some red and white striped peppermint candy. I can't wait to have a go at this one. Grab your paints and let's get started. Well, this is going to be a fun one. Although, don't worry if you're feeling a bit nervous about drawing round things, because the good news is even if you don't get round things right first time, you can just keep on swirling around and then just rub out whatever doesn't work. But I'm going to try and do one on an angle. And I'm just doing a little extra line there just to sort of remind myself of the roundness. And I'll do one there, and I might do one up there as well, because I like I like the idea of these and I want to paint them. So first things first, I think I want to put one of them in a wrapper, so I'm going to do this one in a wrapper, and there we go. And yeah, essentially that's going to slightly affect how we paint that one. But let's start off with some of the basics. So we've got these, they're red and white striped candies, but we do need a faint, sort of pale, shadowy colour just to define the white of the shape. And this will also play into the wrapper as well. So I've just got some really dilute burnt sienna and my blue there, and I'm just going to paint in just to sort of sweep around the edge. And this is also helpful if you're into sort of getting rid of every possible pencil mark after you've painted, then you'll really like this, because this will help show your sweets off really cleverly. Okay, so for the wrapper, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the wrapper in this colour. So you can see I'm just doing little like lines from the twisty bit there, and then I'm actually going to paint sort of the lines of the twisty wrapper coming out from both sides. So I recently discovered that one of my favourite sort of chocolate flavours is to have, I mean, I've always loved mint and chocolate together, but to have it that you have broken up candy canes or candy like this, all crushed up and put into dark chocolate. I just think it's the nicest thing ever. So anyway, I'm going to let these dry, and then we're going to go back in and paint the red. So I'm going to mix up some really nice brightly coloured red to start off with. And as you'll notice, every time I want a really bold red, I always add a tiny bit of the Alizarin crimson, as it just intensifies the colour and makes it just that tiny bit richer. So I gave that a few minutes to dry, and I'm going to begin by painting my red pattern on in quite a dilute manner. So I'm just getting a little bit of a watery version of the colour. Okay, let's start off with something simple. We are literally going to paint in little marks from the side. This one is funny actually, it's simple, but it's also a bit challenging. If you are sort of struggling with this, what you need to do is just keep thinking about angling your little red marks right into the center. Think about that central point, and that will really help. In fact, I can take some of the colour off that one. I think that'll be probably one of the bigger challenges for some of us on this calendar, is we're painting small and learning to just take a little bit of colour on your brush, not needing too much. Oh, look at that, that's lucky. Got roughly the right amount of shapes. Okay, so that's a nice one, and that's given us a good idea of how the paint behaves when we're putting them on. I'm going to now do a sort of swirly one. We're still staying with the sort of straight on ones because I think they're a bit easier. So I'm going to do a little swirl into the middle, and I'm just going to thicken it out a little bit. And then I'm going to just put in a few thin lines and a thick one. Then a thin one. Just try and keep the idea of that same center. Again, if you want, you could always draw in a dot to keep you sort of focused on the center. Well, that's not bad, not bad. Okay, let's try one where we're just going to do one big swirl, but we're going to do it from the side. So instead of going round, we're thinking more in terms of an oval. So let's see how we go. That one went all right. And then for this last one, I'm going to try and do a design that I'm only going to see a little bit of. Now that sounds a bit bonkers, but so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some lines going into the middle, but I'm going to sort of hide them underneath the wrapper. So I think all you need to do is just sort of imagine the stripe continuing out to the edge, but just if you come across a bit of wrapper, you just pause. Okay. Well done, everyone. That was quite challenging, but looks great. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to just up the intensity of the colour of the red. So I've got some cadmium red here, and we're going to I've got alizarin crimson, I beg your pardon, just mixing into our red mix, and I'm also going to use it in a more concentrated manner. Now if you want, I've just been using the size 0 brush quite religiously, but let's just go down a size, make life easier for ourselves. You'll be wondering why it's in the kit. Right. What I'm going to do is I am going to add some deeper red colour to some of these sweets to give them just a slightly sort of bolder feel. So I'm just going to blend it in a little bit. And you can sort of use this colour for whatever you need, really. If you want to sort of be tidying up some of your stripes, or just giving a sense of the sort of roundness. Lovely. And then I'm going to just increase the intensity on the shadowy tone. And just do a few slightly smaller little ripples on the plastic. There we go. Right, we'll just let that dry and we'll see what we've got at the end. So I have just rubbed out the pencil and these look absolutely fantastic, good enough to eat. And we've got a new little technique we've learnt there. Not something I've ever taught before on any YouTube tutorial. So thanks so much for watching. I'm going to go off and find myself some of these now because I'm really peckish. I will see you again tomorrow.